Mel Brooks, the genius behind The Producers, Blazing Saddles, and Young Frankenstein, is a rare EGOT winner and comedy titan. His marriage to Oscar winner Anne Bancroft was a legendary Hollywood love story. He has 4 children, 3 from his first wife, Florence Baum, Stephanie, Nikki, and Eddie, and 1 son, Max, with Bancroft. Each child carved their own path, from writing and directing to national security and best-selling novels. Raised in the shadow of comedic greatness, they've each found their own voice. Number 4, Stephanie Brooks. Born on February 21st, 1956, in New York City, is the eldest of all the Brooks children. Her parentage placed her at a unique intersection of the performing arts. Her father, a rising star in television comedy, and her mother, a distinguished dancer on the Broadway stage. This dual artistic heritage provided a rich and stimulating foundation for her own creative inclinations. Signaling a serious commitment to the craft of filmmaking, Stephanie enrolled in film courses at the prestigious New York University, NYU, in the late 1970s. This was not a casual exploration, but a deliberate move to acquire formal training. A path that would equip her with the skills to navigate the industry on her own terms. Her career reflects a person more interested in the mechanics of filmmaking than the glare of the spotlight. She gained invaluable hands-on experience as a production assistant on 2 major films released in 1982. The iconic, critically acclaimed comedy Tawatsi, starring Dustin Hoffman, and the crime thriller I, the Jury. A production assistant role is the bedrock of a film set, a demanding job that provides a comprehensive overview of every facet of production. Working on a complex and high-profile set like Tootsie would have been an immersive masterclass in top-tier filmmaking. More than a decade later, Stephanie contributed her skills to another Hollywood blockbuster, this time in a more specialized capacity. She served as a casting assistant for the 1994 action hit Speed, starring Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. The role of a casting assistant is pivotal, involving the intricate process of helping to select the talent that brings a film's characters to life. Her involvement in such a major commercial success demonstrates a continued and evolving presence within the industry. While most of her documented work was behind the scenes, Stephanie does have an acting credit to her name. She appeared in the 1999 British-Irish independent film Human Traffic. The film, which has since achieved cult status, is a vibrant and energetic depiction of youth club culture in Cardiff, Wales. Her choice of an independent international film, known for its distinct style, suggests an artistic taste that diverged from the mainstream Hollywood projects she had previously worked on. Stephanie Brooks's career is a testament to the value of the many crucial roles that exist behind the camera. She chose a path of substantive contribution rather than public fame, a quiet professional who navigated the industry with skill and a clear preference for the craft over the celebrity. Number 3. Nicholas Nicky. Brooks, born on December 13, 1957, in New York City, also followed his family's creative current into the world of film. Like his older sister Stephanie, Nicky pursued a formal education in the craft, studying film at New York University. His career, however, would focus more specifically on writing and directing, culminating in a deeply personal feature film that brought him into a unique creative dialogue with his famous father. After an early singular acting role in the 1971 family movie Who Says I Can't Ride a Rainbow, Nicky pivoted to working behind the camera. His most prominent work to date is the 2016 film Sam, a project he wrote, co-penning the screenplay with John Gallagher, produced and directed. The journey to bring Sam to the screen was a long one, an idea that, as Nicky said, cooked in my brain for about 2 years before I sat down to pen the screenplay. The film itself is a romantic comedy with a fantastical, high-concept premise. Sam Wellman, a quintessential New York alpha male and chauvinist, is magically transformed into a woman, Samantha. This forces her to navigate the world from an entirely new perspective, directly confronting the sexism and societal attitudes he had previously perpetuated. The film explores themes of empathy, gender identity, and personal transformation. To ensure authenticity, Nicky engaged in detailed conversations with his female friends, seeking to infuse the screenplay with genuine insight and depth and humor. The project became a true family affair when his father, Mel Brooks, came on board as an executive producer. This support was undoubtedly crucial in getting the independent film made and distributed. Mel has spoken with immense pride about Nicky's work, calling Sam a terrific picture, and praising its originality and courage in tackling sensitive subjects. Coming from a filmmaking legend, Mel's assessment, "I'm the only one here who really knows how hard that is to do," was a profound acknowledgement of his son's achievement. The reception for Sam was mixed. Some professional critics found its script frustratingly formulaic, and suggested that Mel's involvement was the primary reason for its inclusion in film festivals. This highlights the double-edged sword for celebrity children. A famous name provides access but also invites heightened scrutiny and accusations of nepotism. However, many audience reviews were more favorable, praising the film's humor, witty banter, and positive message. The performance of Natalie Knepp in the lead role of Samantha was frequently singled out for praise. For Nicky, his father's validation was clearly a deeply meaningful milestone. He has spoken of the joy he felt when Mel read the screenplay and said, "I love it," and later, after seeing the finished film, confirmed he still liked it. This professional respect was mutual. Mel has acknowledged that he valued Nicky's younger, more contemporary perspective, stating that Nicky provided valuable input on his own later projects, including Spaceballs and the recent Hulu series History of the World, Part 2. This reveals a mature and collaborative artistic relationship between father and son. Nicky has also produced short films, including Confession on Pleasant Street, which was directed by his niece, Samantha Brooks, the daughter of his brother Eddie, showcasing his role as a mentor to the next generation of Brooks filmmakers. Number 2. Edward Eddie Brooks. Born on May 24, 1959, is the youngest of Mel Brooks and Florence Baum's children. Of all the Brooks siblings, Eddie has cultivated the most private life, choosing to engage with the creative arts on his own quiet terms, far from the public gaze. His story is one of such discretion that it's first necessary to distinguish him from other public figures with the same name. He is not Ed Brooks, the prominent Seattle-based audio engineer who has worked with bands like Pearl Jam and Death Cab for Cutie. He is not the veteran actor Eddie Ryder, who appeared in his father's film High Anxiety. And he is not any of the other numerous Ed or Eddie Brooks whose lives appear in public records. This very need for clarification is a testament to his success in maintaining a low profile. Like his siblings, Eddie had an early, fleeting moment in front of the camera, appearing as a child in the 1970 satirical comedy Where's Papa?, which was directed by his father's close friend and collaborator, Carl Reiner. But this was his only known acting credit. A 1978 New Yorker article reported that Eddie, then around 19, was studying music in Manhattan. This points to an early artistic inclination, though his path would eventually lead him to film directing. While there's no public record of him attending a formal film school like his older siblings, he is credited with directing at least 2 short films. His work includes The Green Room and Of the Woods, Prologue, the latter described as a horror thriller short. The choice of the horror genre is another interesting divergence from his father's comedic empire. Directing short films is often a passion-driven endeavor, allowing for significant artistic control without the immense commercial pressures of feature filmmaking. This choice aligns with the desire to create on one's own terms. While Eddie himself remains private, his branch of the family has recently stepped into the public narrative through his daughter, Samantha Brooks. Samantha is a journalist who has written for various publications, covering topics from travel and art to culture and wellness. In a delightful intergenerational moment, Samantha has publicly interviewed her famous grandfather, Mel Brooks, discussing his work, including the recent History of the World, Part 2. This creates a fascinating dynamic where the family legacy is engaged with and shared publicly by the third generation, while the second generation, her father Eddie, remains a quiet, supportive figure in the background. Eddie is married to his wife, Sarah Brooks. His life appears to be one of quiet creative endeavor and family, a path that has successfully allowed him to navigate his famous heritage with a profound degree of personal privacy. Number 1, Max Brooks. Born on May 22, 1972, is the only child of Mel Brooks and the legendary actress Anne Bancroft. Growing up with 2 such formidable artistic parents, Max forged a path that was not only independent, but also phenomenally successful, becoming an Emmy-winning writer, a best-selling author, and, most surprisingly, a respected expert in the field of national security and disaster preparedness. A profound and formative challenge in Max's early life was his severe dyslexia. He has spoken openly about the immense frustration and anxiety this caused. The hero of this chapter of his life was his mother, Anne Bancroft. She effectively put her own career on hold to become his fiercest advocate, immersing herself in understanding his learning difference and, in a life-altering move, arranged for all of his school textbooks to be recorded onto audio cassettes. Max unequivocally states, "I listened to my books, otherwise I never would have gotten through school." This intense reliance on auditory learning profoundly shaped his mind. It's widely believed to be the foundation for his masterful use of the oral history format in his most famous work, World War Z. After attending Pitzer College, where he earned a degree in history, and pursuing graduate studies in film at American University, Max was uniquely equipped with skills in research, history, and narrative structure. His first major literary success was the 2003 book, The Zombie Survival Guide. Written with a deadpan, quasi-academic seriousness, this fictional manual on how to survive a zombie apocalypse became a cult classic. Its obsessive detail and earnest tone redefined the zombie genre, treating it as a subject worthy of serious, albeit fantastical, study. He followed this with his 2006 masterpiece, World War Z, an oral history of the zombie war. The novel, structured as a series of interviews with survivors from around the globe, is a brilliant and incisive work of geopolitical and social commentary. It explores how different governments and cultures would realistically respond to a global pandemic, offering sharp critiques of military doctrine, political incompetence, and corporate greed. The book was a massive international bestseller. The 2013 film adaptation starring Brad Pitt was a box office hit, but diverged significantly, transforming Brooks's sprawling, thoughtful, oral history into a more conventional, hero-driven action movie. Max's other works show his incredible range. The Harlem Hellfighters, 2014, is a powerful graphic novel illustrated by Cannon White that tells the true story of the heroic African-American 369th Infantry Regiment in World War I, soldiers who faced racism at home and the German army abroad. His 2020 novel, Devolution, is an intimate and terrifying horror story about a high-tech eco-community in Washington state that is cut off by a volcanic eruption and besieged by Sasquatches. He has also successfully ventured into children's literature with a series of novels based on the popular video game Minecraft. Max Brooks's meticulously researched, logically constructed fictional crises earned him an unexpected second career. The intellectual rigor of his work caught the attention of the U.S. military and national security community. Today, he holds positions as a non-resident senior fellow at the Modern War Institute at West Point and is affiliated with the Atlantic Council's Scowcroft Center for Strategy and Security. He has been invited to lecture at the U.S. Naval War College and FEMA, using fictional threats like zombies as a lens to challenge old ways of thinking and encourage creative problem-solving for real-world crises like pandemics or infrastructure collapse. His ability to make complex strategic threats accessible and engaging through narrative has made him a unique and influential voice in these serious domains. Before his literary career took off, Max was a writer for Saturday Night Live from 2001 to 2003, winning a Primetime Emmy Award in 2002 as part of the SNL writing team. This success in a high-pressure comedic environment demonstrates his versatility and perhaps a touch of his father's comedic timing, even if his primary work would later take a more serious tone. Married to playwright Michelle Colos since 2003, with whom he has a son, Henry, Max Brooks has masterfully navigated his legacy. He didn't follow his father into parody, but he did inherit a certain genius for deconstructing worlds and human behavior. He has built an empire of his own, one founded on intellect, imagination, and a profound understanding of how societies function and how they break. None of them tried to replicate their father's specific brand of comedic genius. Instead, they took the creative spirit that so clearly defined their upbringing and channeled it into their own distinct genres and professions.